The mountain pass rises steadily, a winding ribbon of ancient dust beneath the vast, velvet canopy of the night sky. Here, the air is crisp and cool, carrying the faint, comforting scent of cedar smoke that drifts from the stone caravanserai ahead. It stands as a silent sentinel against the jagged peaks, its heavy arched gateway inviting and wide, carved from weathered stone that has witnessed centuries of quiet arrivals. Above, the stars are brilliant and unblinking, casting a soft, silvery luminescence over the rugged landscape. The silence is profound, broken only by the gentle crunch of boots on gravel and the distant, rhythmic sigh of the wind through the high mountain crags. As the path levels out, the structure comes into full view, its silhouette softened by the deep indigo shadows of the evening. Near the entrance, a figure waits, draped in a cloak the color of a midnight sky, embroidered with brass constellations that shimmer faintly in the moonlight. This is the Timekeeper, a guardian of these quiet, hidden routes, standing perfectly still with a steady, watchful grace. In one hand, they hold an ornate brass lantern, its glass panes protecting a flame that flickers with the distinct, golden shape of an hourglass. The light is warm and steady, casting long, gentle shadows that dance against the rough-hewn masonry of the walls. There is no urgency here, only the soft, rhythmic pace of a journey drawing to a peaceful close. Every stone, every grain of sand, and every star above seems to hold its breath in anticipation of the rest that awaits within these ancient walls. The Timekeeper offers a subtle, welcoming nod, their expression serene and untroubled. The lantern light spills across the threshold, illuminating the path forward into the courtyard where the journey truly begins. The world beyond the pass falls away, replaced by the immediate, grounding presence of the caravanserai. It is a sanctuary built for weary travelers, a place where time itself seems to slow, folding into the quiet, cool embrace of the mountain night. Here, under the watchful gaze of the constellations, the stillness is absolute, inviting a deep and restorative calm to settle over the spirit. The path is complete, and the threshold is crossed, leading into the heart of a gentle, timeless sanctuary. The arrival marks a transition, a moment where the weight of the long road dissipates into the cool, mountain air, leaving only the promise of peace and the quiet, flickering light of the lantern. Stepping through the arched gateway, the transition from the vast, open mountain pass to the inner sanctuary of the caravanserai is marked by a sudden, profound stillness. The courtyard is a haven of ancient stone, shielded from the restless winds by high, thick walls that have stood for centuries. Here, the air is still and holds a gentle warmth, as if the very masonry has absorbed the sun of 1,000 past days, releasing it slowly into the cool night air. The ground is paved with smooth, worn flagstones that feel solid and grounding beneath each step. In the center of this quiet space, a low stone table stands, weathered by time and etched with faint, intricate patterns that seem to catch the moonlight. The timekeeper moves with a fluid, silent grace, their navy cloak brushing softly against the stone floor. They place the brass lantern upon the table, and its golden hourglass flame casts a steady, amber glow that illuminates the textures of the space. The walls are not merely stone, they are a tapestry of history, with small, recessed niches holding remnants of travelers long departed, a smooth river pebble, a dried sprig of mountain lavender, a fragment of faded silk. Each object rests in perfect, undisturbed harmony, contributing to the sense of timelessness that permeates the courtyard. There is a deep, rhythmic quality to the silence here, a pulse that beats in time with the flickering lantern light. It is a place where the outside world, with its distance and its demands, simply ceases to exist. The timekeeper turns, their expression one of quiet, serene welcome, as if they have been expecting this moment of arrival all along. There is no need for words in this sanctuary. The atmosphere itself speaks of rest, of safety, and of the simple, profound joy of finding shelter. The lantern light dances gently, reflecting off the polished brass and the cool, grey stone, creating a sanctuary of soft shadows and warm, inviting light. As the traveler settles into this space, the tension of the long journey dissolves, replaced by a feeling of profound, restorative peace that anchors the spirit firmly within these ancient, protective walls. Every breath taken here feels like a renewal, a quiet acknowledgement of the journey completed and the safety found within this hallowed, stone-bound circle of peace and deep, enduring history. The night deepens, yet the courtyard remains a beacon of comfort, holding the traveler in its silent, warm embrace until the dawn. The timekeeper approaches the central stone table, their movements as deliberate and rhythmic as the turning of the stars above. With a soft, metallic click, they reveal a device that has rested beneath a linen cloth. It is a clockwork map, crafted from burnished brass that catches the lantern light and scatters it into tiny, dancing sparks across the ancient courtyard walls. As the timekeeper's fingers trace the outer rim, a low, melodic hum begins to emanate from the object, a sound like a distant hive of bees or the steady respiration of the earth itself. Tiny, interconnected gears begin to rotate, their teeth interlocking with a precision that defies the passage of centuries. Each gear is etched with microscopic symbols, crescent moons, compass needles, and flowing rivers that shift and realign with every gentle rotation. The device does not merely sit upon the table, it breathes, expanding and contracting with a series of soft, rhythmic pulses that seem to soothe the very air of the courtyard. The timekeeper watches the mechanism with a look of serene focus, their silver forelock catching the amber light as they guide the movement of the brass plates. As the gears turn, they reveal hidden layers of intricate metalwork, sliding over one another like the quiet turning of the tides. The sound is lulling and hypnotic, a steady, mechanical lullaby that anchors the mind to the present moment. There is no urgency here, only the deliberate, graceful unfolding of a map that charts not the physical world, but the overlapping echoes of time itself. The brass plates shimmer with a soft, inner radiance, reflecting the constellations that will slowly across the sky above the caravanserai. Every movement of the clockwork is a testament to the patience of the ages, a slow, winding dance that invites the weary observer to let go of the day's burdens. As the device continues its rhythmic cycle, the shadows in the courtyard seem to soften, losing their sharp edges and blending into the warm, golden glow of the lantern. The map is a bridge, a delicate instrument of brass and starlight that connects the stillness of this mountain sanctuary to the vast, timeless currents of history. It is a quiet wonder, a masterpiece of engineering that hums with the promise of peaceful discovery, cradling the traveler in a cocoon of mechanical harmony and profound, enduring calm. The map waits for the next turn, holding secrets of the paths ahead, while the gears continue their endless, soothing, and beautiful song of the passage of time. The timekeeper gently presses a small, recessed lever on the side of the brass device. With a soft, resonant chime, the clockwork map begins to bloom. It does not merely unfold, it exhales, the heavy brass plates parting like the petals of a metallic lotus. As the layers shift, they release a fine, shimmering mist that catches the lantern light, turning the air above the stone table into a canvas of impossible landscapes. These are not maps of mountain passes or desert dunes, but shifting, ethereal vistas of light that flicker and flow like water. One moment, a golden horizon stretches across the courtyard, illuminated by a sun that seems to rise from the very heart of the brass gears. The next, the light cools into a deep, velvet indigo, revealing the faint, glowing outlines of cities that exist only in the quiet spaces between heartbeats. The landscapes are fluid, drifting through one another with the grace of clouds moving across a moonlit sky. There is no friction, only a seamless transition from one luminous realm to the next. The timekeeper watches, their expression one of quiet reverence, as the map projects these visions onto the ancient stone walls of the caravanserai. The walls themselves seem to dissolve, their solid, weathered surfaces becoming translucent, allowing the light to pass through them as if they were made of nothing more than stardust and memory. A soft, amber glow pulses from the center of the map, casting long, gentle shadows that dance in time with the shifting light. The atmosphere is thick with a sense of profound peace, as if the very air has become saturated with the stillness of centuries. Each landscape, whether it be a field of silver grass swaying in a wind that cannot be felt or a quiet, starlit harbor where ships of light rest at anchor, invites the observer to wander without moving a step. The map is a doorway, and as the light continues to unfold, the boundaries between the caravanserai and these distant, impossible places blur into a singular, tranquil experience. It is a slow, hypnotic display, a symphony of radiance that cradles the mind, encouraging it to drift upon the currents of this luminous, shifting tide, far away from the concerns of the waking world. The map remains open, a silent witness to the infinite paths that lie waiting for the weary traveler to explore, inviting them to step forward into the light of the unknown and embrace the beauty of the shifting, impossible horizons that now surround them in this sanctuary of ancient, quiet stone and starlight. As the map continues its rhythmic rotation, the projections deepen, revealing the gentle transit of travelers from distant, peaceful eras. These figures appear as soft, luminous silhouettes, moving with a grace that transcends the constraints of time. They walk across the projected landscapes, their footsteps silent upon the imaginary sands and stone paths. A merchant in robes of woven silk, shimmering with the faint iridescence of a moth's wing, pauses to look up at a sky filled with constellations that have long since shifted in our own firmament. Beside him, a scholar carries a scroll that glows with the pale, steady light of a captured moonbeam, their expression one of profound, quiet contentment. These travelers do not hurry. They move as if they are part of a slow, eternal procession, drifting through the caravanserai like leaves carried on a calm, evening breeze. They are echoes of a gentler history, captured in the brass gears and brought to life by the lantern's steady flame. One by one, they pass through the courtyard, stepping from the light of one era into the soft, velvet shadows of another. There is no sound of their passage, only the faint, melodic hum of the map's internal mechanism, a sound that resonates with the stillness of the mountain night. The Timekeeper watches them with a gentle smile, their hands resting lightly on the edge of the stone table, guiding the flow of these temporal currents. The figures seem to acknowledge the presence of the room, turning their heads with a slow, deliberate motion before fading into the glowing horizon. It is a peaceful migration of spirits, a reminder that the world has always held spaces of quiet sanctuary for those who seek them. As the last of the travelers fades into the distance, the projections begin to soften, the sharp edges of the light blurring into a warm, golden haze. The air in the courtyard feels heavy with the weight of these ancient, peaceful moments, wrapping the space in a blanket of timeless serenity. The map continues to hum, a low, steady vibration that anchors the mind in the present, even as the heart wanders through the echoes of the past, finding rest in the beauty of these fleeting, luminous encounters. The stillness remains, a profound silence that speaks of infinite journeys and the quiet, enduring grace of those who walk through time, leaving only faint, beautiful memories behind in this hallowed, ancient stone sanctuary. We witness this grace, feeling the deep peace of history flowing through the stone, while the lantern light flickers, casting long, gentle shadows against the walls, ensuring that every traveler finds their way home, eventually resting here in the soft glow of the map. In the heart of the ancient caravanserai, the atmosphere shifts as the projections of the clockwork map begin to coalesce into a singular, breathtaking display. The Timekeeper gently adjusts a small brass lever, and the light from the device rises, casting long, slender beams that weave together like threads of spun silver. These are not merely echoes of the past, but the very strands of time itself, glowing with the soft, steady radiance of distant starlight. As the threads intersect, they form a vast, intricate tapestry that stretches across the stone walls of the courtyard. Each line of light is a path, a journey, or a quiet moment held in the palm of the universe. The threads dance in slow, rhythmic patterns, crossing and intertwining with a grace that defies explanation. One thread, a pale violet hue, drifts lazily like a ribbon in a calm stream, while another, a deep, warm gold, pulses with the steady heartbeat of the mountain night. The Timekeeper watches, their expression one of serene focus, as they guide these luminous strands into a harmonious arrangement. It is a work of celestial artistry, where each movement of the gears adds a new detail to the shimmering weave. The tapestry does not merely sit upon the walls, it seems to breathe, expanding and contracting with the gentle, rhythmic hum of the brass map. We watch as these threads of starlight create a canopy of peace, wrapping the caravanserai in a protective, glowing embrace. There is no urgency here, only the slow, deliberate work of the loom, spinning the quiet moments of existence into a singular, beautiful whole. The air feels cool and still, vibrating with the soft energy of the starlight threads as they settle into their places. As the tapestry completes its pattern, the light softens, turning the stone walls into a canvas of velvet darkness and shimmering, ethereal gold. It is a reminder that every journey, no matter how long or winding, is part of a greater, more beautiful design. Here, in the sanctuary of the stone walls, the threads of time are held in perfect, silent balance, allowing the mind to rest within the vast, starlit expanse of the weaver's creation, feeling the deep, abiding comfort of being part of something so ancient, so profoundly still, and so utterly infinite in its delicate, glowing, and eternal reach. The patterns shift once more, revealing hidden constellations that whisper of forgotten ages and future dawns, binding the observer to the rhythm of the cosmos in this quiet, stone-walled haven of light. Every single thread holds a story, and every story finds its place within this grand, celestial tapestry, woven with care by the steady hands of the Timekeeper, ensuring that all remains perfectly aligned within the vast, silent, and glowing embrace of the eternal night. The grand tapestry of starlight begins to soften, its vibrant threads dimming as the clockwork map enters its final, gentle cycle. With a deliberate, unhurried motion, the Timekeeper reaches out to touch a small, ornate gear at the edge of the brass device. As their fingers brush the cool metal, a faint, resonant chime echoes through the stone courtyard, sounding like a distant bell ringing across a quiet valley. The intricate mechanisms, which have hummed with such purposeful energy, now begin to slow their pace. Each rotation of the brass plates becomes more measured, more deliberate, and increasingly quiet. The vibrant constellations that once danced across the walls fade into soft, embers-only hues, casting long, gentle shadows that seem to breathe with the rhythm of the night. The air in the caravanserai grows still, heavy with the scent of ancient stone and the lingering warmth of the hearth. There is a profound sense of closure in the air, a natural winding down of the day's long journey. The gears click softly, one by one, like the steady, rhythmic ticking of a heart finding its rest. The Timekeeper watches the map with a gentle, satisfied smile, their hands now resting quietly at their sides. The luminous threads are no longer weaving, they are simply glowing, a soft, fading halo of light that anchors the room in a state of deep, undisturbed peace. The movement of the map is almost imperceptible now, a slow, hypnotic rocking that invites the eyes to close and the mind to drift. Every gear, every plate, and every tiny, hidden spring is aligning with the stillness of the mountain night. The vibrant energy that filled the space has transformed into a calm, steady hum, a lullaby of brass and starlight that wraps around the listener like a soft, heavy blanket. There is nothing left to do but listen to the quiet, rhythmic slowing of the world, feeling the weight of the day lift as the map completes its final, graceful turn, leaving only the soft, golden glow of the lantern to guide the way into a deeper, more restorative silence. The traveler stands motionless, watching the brass device settle into its final, dormant state. Every ticking sound fades into the vast, cold silence of the high mountain peaks outside, leaving the room bathed in a golden, flickering light. It is a moment of perfect stillness, where the journey ends and the quiet rest begins, allowing the spirit to settle alongside the gears, finding peace within the sanctuary of the stone walls as the last light dims into a gentle, tranquil darkness. The final movement of the clockwork map concludes with a soft, resonant click, a sound that settles into the very marrow of the stone walls. In the courtyard of the caravanserai, the air is thick with the scent of pine needles and the cooling embers of the hearth. The timekeeper, a figure of quiet grace, stands back from the table, their hands folded within the folds of their navy cloak. The brass map, once alive with the light of 1,000 shifting eras, now rests in a state of perfect, dormant harmony. The golden hourglass flame within the lantern flickers once, twice, and then settles into a steady, soft glow that barely touches the edges of the room. It is a light that speaks of endings and the peaceful promise of rest. The stars above the mountain pass seem to hold their breath, mirroring the stillness that has descended upon this ancient sanctuary. Every gear, every plate, and every intricate spring has found its place, mirroring the stillness of the traveler's own heart. There is no longer any need to watch or to wonder, for the journey has reached its natural, quiet conclusion. The shadows in the corners of the courtyard lengthen and soften, blending into the deep, indigo hues of the night. A profound sense of peace fills the space, a gentle weight that encourages the eyes to drift shut and the spirit to let go of the day. The lantern light dims further, its golden warmth receding until it is nothing more than a soft, embers-only glow, casting long, peaceful silhouettes against the weathered stone. In this final stillness, the caravanserai becomes a cradle, holding the traveler in a state of deep, restorative calm. The world outside the mountain pass is vast and silent, and within these walls, there is only the rhythmic, steady pulse of the night, guiding the mind into a dreamless, tranquil sleep, where the echoes of the Silk Road fade into the gentle, velvet darkness. Everything that was once in motion is now at peace, held within the stone embrace of the mountain sanctuary. The traveler breathes in the cool, crisp air, feeling the weight of the long journey finally lift away, leaving behind only the quiet, steady pulse of the earth itself, as the world of men and maps dissolves into the soft, velvet silence of the high peaks, where time itself seems to pause, waiting for the dawn to break over the distant, snow-capped summits of the world.